Welcome to the Bivouac. This is your rule summary for the game of golf. To play this game, you're going to need one standard deck of 52 cards. That's 4 suits, 13 cards to a suit, and no jokers. You can play this game with any number of players between 2 and really however many you want. You're going to need more decks if you play with more than 4 players. Each deck will satisfy about 4 players, so once you get that 5th player, you're probably going to add an additional deck. To begin the game, you'll deal each player 6 cards. I'm going to play 2 players for this example. Make sure you do not look at these cards and instead place them in a formation that looks a little bit like this. It's a 2x3 grid. The players will then flip over 2 cards of their choice, which can be any card. And once they've done that, the top card of the draw pile is going to become the top discard pile. And one player will start the game. On your turn, you can do one of 2 things. Either draw the top card of the discard pile or the top card of the draw pile. Whichever one you choose, you're going to take it, look at it, and you can do one of 2 things with it. You can either put it in the discard pile, discarding it and ending your turn, or replace with any one of the 6 cards on your little board here in front of you, the 6 cards, whether it's face up or it's face down. Whichever one you choose, let's say I decided to replace it. If you decide to replace it, the old card that was in that place is going to go away. It's going to go up here, face up in the discard pile. And the new card is going to be face up in its place. Since you have discarded a card, your turn is over, and the next player will go. Players will continue back and forth like this until one of 2 things happens. Either one player has all 6 of their cards face up, or the draw deck has been exhausted. In the more likely outcome that one player has all 6 of their cards face up, the game ends like this. Every other player will get 1 more turn, and once it returns to this player who has 6 cards face up, the game is instead over instead of them getting a turn. In the event you happen to run out of the draw deck instead, it works a little bit like this. If a player wants to draw from the draw pile, but can't because there's no cards left, the game is immediately over. But if they want to draw the top card of the discard, they may. And then the game continues around the board until somebody either has 6 cards flipped up, and that will trigger that first ending, or they want to draw from that draw pile and can't. And then the game is immediately over. Once the game is over, you'll flip up any remaining face down cards you have on your board. This is the only time you're allowed to flip cards face up, otherwise you have to replace. And then you'll calculate score. If you happen to have 2 cards that are the exact same rank on top of each other, so for instance a jack here and a jack here, they are worth 0 points. They cancel each other out. Everything else is going to be worth what they show. So a 6 is a 6, a 4 is a 4. Jacks and queens are 10, kings are 0, and aces are -1. Let's calculate the score. So this one I have 2 kings are 0, 2 jacks on top of each other, they cancel to 0, and I got a 6 and a 4, that's 10 points. Okay, over here, I've got 10 points for the 10, 10 points from the jack, that's 20. 8 and 2 makes 10 points, that's 30, 39, 46 points on the other side here. The player with the lowest amount of score at the end of the game wins. That's your rule summary on how to play the game of golf. Good luck.